Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working on a new piece. This one being of Dark Magician Girl from the anime and card game Yu-Gi-Oh! And I am super excited. I've been working on this since late February and I'm just now finishing it and happy to share it with you all. So we're going to get started here in a second and see where things go. So let's get going. Now, as always, I've worked on this with starting out with some thumbnails and some quick sketches just to make sure that I'm getting the accurate depiction that I want. I did have this plan to be multifaceted with it being different formatting, as you can see in the thumbnails, of a print as well as a playmat, because as everyone probably can figure out, that I used to play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game when I was a kid, as along with a lot of other kids around my age. So it was very fun to actually start working on this and to try to be a little bit more specific on how I'm going to render this. And as you can tell with the line art, it took me a while. I spent just under 30 hours on this piece, and the most of the time came from rendering out the character of Dark Magician Girl as much as I could, because I did want to make this into not only a separate print but also a playmat as well, because I've been doing a lot of those these past couple of years and it's been fun to get people into the TCG space with my art, at least at some level, whether it is through the Digimon TCG or others. So I'm super excited to see where this goes. Obviously, right now we're going into the rendering and the lighting phase, and this took a bit trying to figure out where everything was going. Now that I got the base flats and some of the base lighting in, with my light source being proven in the top right corner, I kind of started jumping into the rendering of this piece and trying to get the colors into the correct aspect that I wanted them to be in to match not only the background, but also the effects that I'm going to add later on into this piece. And as I was working on this piece, there was so much news going on around the Yu-Gi-Oh space, especially with the new foiled card version of Dark Magician Girl, so I was super excited for that. Unfortunately, I guess there was some influencers, I think it was Jake Paul, that jumped from Pokemon after selling his very expensive piece of Pokemon cardboard to One Piece and now to Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's been big news, and I think that actually jumped the popularity of Dark Magician Girl, as much as she deserves it, into the limelight once again into this TCG space. And I kind of feel that this is going to be a mixed feeling, because I feel that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not much of a collector's game, but more of a art play game where you get the cards to actually play the game, not just get pretty artwork. And not to say that the artwork for Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't pretty, it's phenomenal. I love it. I grew up on it, as many of us, millennial Gen Zs have grown up on the anime and on the show and the movies and the card game. It's just awesome, the influence that this game has had over a whole generation, if not more, and seeing the different aspects that this piece may get into some good standings with some people, which we'll see how that goes. I definitely hope that you guys enjoy this piece, because I certainly enjoyed working on it, because this one did take me upwards of 30 hours, and I was trying to push myself to actually get as far as I could with this aspect, because I was talking to a bunch of my artist friends, whether they're in Riot Games or others that are freelance illustrators similar to me, and asking them how long do they spend on pieces, what do they do to improve, how do they figure things out, what's going on, those type of things. And most of the time they told me that most of their work was spent up to 50, if not 100 hours. And then I've had others that have told me with Riot that they spend from 130 hours to 200 hours on a single illustration, which is mind-bogglingly a lot. And if I want to work in these industries where they're going to have these more intense illustrations, I'm definitely going to need to start working on that type of time frame. So you're probably going to see a lot more sketches for, my shorts or social media as well. I'm working on something bigger and better when I have free time to work on it. And that's kind of the goal, is to try pushing these illustrations out as much as I can, so then I can have a better portfolio. Because the better the portfolio, the more I can get work. Which, speaking of it, I do have a VGen account. If you do want to commission me for something like this, I do have that up there, and seeing how long it will take me, I will definitely see what's going on and go through that, because VGens are fun. They're commission-based stuff. I've done mostly outside of VGen, but this is more of a formatted way for me to help you get the art that you are looking for. And commissions are going to be interesting to try pushing forward a little bit more in my artwork as future endeavors keep going forward. As we are getting closer to the end piece, the hair for Dark Magician Girl, I don't know why, I don't know how, it's always still a struggle. I've done hair before and I keep doing hair, and it's always a struggle to render this style of hair, in my opinion. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. It might just be that I want to do like those super curly waves that are more natural for people, but this is fun and was definitely an interesting way to move things forward. Outside of that, the symbols that are going to be coming up here in a little bit were probably the thing that took the most patience for me, because they weren't kanji from like Japan. They weren't necessarily Egyptian. I can't really tell because I'm neither of those. And it was just a long time of me working on them and trying to be patient and try to make them look as rendered as I could. And then I realized I don't like them how they look when they're rendered. So I'm going to try it in a more artistic way, an artisanal way, graphic way, and try to push for these magical effects that you are seeing being implemented right now. And as I was looking through and trying to get this to be more of a splash art vibe, I definitely enjoyed getting more references and trying to get some critiques and processes for this. But other than that, I do think that this is probably one of my better pieces that I have done in quite some time, comparatively to the other really good pieces. And if I keep saying that, that means I'm continually improving. And it's awesome to see the improvement in not only my skills as an artist, but also the products that are coming out because of my skills as an artist, and seeing where things are going from there. I do enjoy working on these pieces. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for the new Yu-Gi-Oh aspects that are coming out, the new Yu-Gi-Oh full arts? I think they're really cool. I think that's something that the TCG definitely needed for more of a collector's side, but not for the game style game that was going through. Whether or not that was because of the creator not really or necessarily wanting that or not is up in the air. But I definitely think that this piece really was something fun for me to work on and try to get into a great aspect for planning not only one format of illustration but also another at the same time, and trying to get those to work in tandem compositionally. And remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I want to know what you guys' favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh is, or what your favorite character is. Leave that in the comments down below, and I will see you all again in the next video. Bye-bye!